A cornucopia of great betting information for today. This is your report for Monday, November the 5th. Joe Duffy's picks. We've got a rare case. Look, many times this year we passed both the Monday night side and total. Same for Thursday night, same for Sunday night. Tonight, very rare case where we have both the Monday night side and total on Joe Duffy's picks. Now let this sink in. I had one of my worst NFL days ever. In 30 years of betting, 30 plus years of betting, 31 years of handicapping professionally. Despite that, 5 games above 500 over the weekend in football. That's right. Historically bad day, 5 games above 500 for the weekend in football. Now let that sink in. Plus we got tons of NBA. Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com. Tennessee and Dallas. 62% of the bets, but just 50% of the money is on Dallas tonight against Tennessee. 67% of the bets and 61% of the money is on the over. Biggest line move would be on the total. Opened up at 42, but down to 40. I'm going to give you my free pick at the top of this report. Sometimes we have it at the bottom of this report, but believe me, if you're looking simply for just the free pick and you hang up after it, well, that's going to be your loss or tune out, whatever you want to. Yeah, I say hang up. I'm going back to my score phone days. Yep, been doing these reports since the score phone days. When 2 teams are trending under in the NBA, the game will go over at an 840 and 665 rate. A regression in the mean angle, to say the least. Our free pick, New York and Chicago over the 212.5. This is not one of our premium picks, but damn close. I'll say that. Plus, our outlaw line is at 216, so our outlaw line says this total should be higher. So New York and Chicago to go over the total are your biggest bets. How about all kinds of sharp action for you, shall we? Biggest line moves of the day in the NBA. By the way, check joeduffy.net at about 5 Eastern. We're going to update today's sharp information in the NBA. Obviously, this information we give you right now is, of course, subject to change. Utah open at -1. They're now +2 against Toronto. Detroit open up as a 5.5-point favorite to Miami. They're now down to 3.5. And those would be the one other semi-significant line move. Orlando open up as a 3-point favorite to Cleveland. They are now a 4.5-point favorite. Let's take a look. Who have been the best teams to bet on this year in the NBA so far? Milwaukee, 6-2-1 against the spread, covering by an average of 11.4 points per game. Portland and Charlotte are each 7-3 against the spread. Portland covering by an average of 7.1 points per game. Charlotte by an average of 6.8. Although the Clippers are only 5-4, they're covering by an average of 6.7 points per game. And Sacramento 7-3 by an average of 6.5 points per game. The best teams to bet against. Houston, yeah, you get Carmelo Anthony. Funny how crazy things happen. What a shock. Houston is 2-6, missing by a league worst 9.8 points per game. Washington 2-7, missing by 9.7 points per game. Cleveland is 4-5, covering or failing to cover by an average of 7.7 points per game. 76ers are 4-7, failing by an average of 5.5 points per game. Some trends for you today. By the way, mybookie.ag, you can see it if you're watching on TV. If you're listening to the podcast simulcast, well, you can't. Mybookie.ag, use the promo code Duffy, D-U-F-F-Y. Not only does it mean you're going to get the largest sign-up bonus in the industry out of any thoroughly vetted sports book in the world, but it also shows your support for all this free information. Promo code Duffy, D-U-F-F-Y. Even if you're a small player. Look, if you're not internet savvy, it's very easy to navigate, but they've got customer service on 24/7. Deposit $100, you got $200 to bet with tonight. Deposit $500, you got $1,000 you can bet with tonight. The money does show up immediately. Orlando's going under 20-6 as a home favorite, under 22-8 overall as a favorite. Nuggets have gone under 2-10 as a favorite, and under 8-9 overall. Miami's going under 11-3 as a road underdog. You know, some advanced weather. Let's just hop in. No, we'll get to college football in a moment. Why don't we just stick to the NBA for now? The most lopsided bets today in terms of the bets, in terms of tickets. 81% of bets are on Orlando. 70% on Golden State. Most lopsided in terms of money, and therefore the biggest sportsbook liabilities. Golden State, 86% of the money's on them. Orlando, 73%. Oklahoma City, 65%. How about as far as the total is concerned? The biggest in terms of number of bets, 78% of bets on Boston over, 75% on Houston over, and the most lopsided in terms of percentage, 87% of the money is on Cleveland over, 77% of the money is on Houston over. Did you hear those trends that we just gave you as far as the biggest over teams in the NBA? There's actually a sharp versus square or pros versus Joes bet on Golden State to go under the total. There is no pros versus Joes that we have in the NBA so far. Why don't we take an early advance look in college football? So far, early betting, Ohio, Fresno, and Northwestern getting a ton of money on them. Less overwhelming, but the most lopsided bets in terms of number of bets. Fresno, Ohio, Syracuse, and here's a shock, Alabama. Oh, there we go. My allergies are kicking in. Apologize for that. Now, some weather that is of concern for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Kent and Buffalo, 24 miles per hour wind speed. Keep an eye on these. The weather is a little bit tough to predict in advance, but games for Saturday, Akron, Eastern Michigan, 15 miles expected. Illinois and Nebraska, I apologize for that, folks. Illinois and Nebraska, 19 miles an hour expected. Kansas and Kansas State, 21 miles an hour expected. Okie and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, 20 miles per hour. Baylor and Iowa State, 15 miles per hour. But again, the most significant tomorrow night, Kent and Buffalo, expecting 24 miles per hour winds. And what the hell? Why don't we just take a look at the NFL, the early NFL sharp moves. Most lopsided in terms of number of bets, percentage of bets, New Orleans and the LA Chargers would be the most lopsided so far. Most lopsided in terms of money. The Chargers, they're betting the Chargers again. New Orleans, and then a drop-off, Carolina after that. And the totals, early advanced totals, or advanced betting, Carolina over, as far as number of bets, and as far as money, Carolina over as well. All right, offshoreinsiders.com, the place to go for thoroughly vetted sports books and the best handicappers. Let me go take some cough drops. Visit us at offshoreinsiders.com.